Have you ever wondered if cheap IKEA kitchens truly stand the test of time? I'm going to show you in today's video. Hey there, it's Christina from the DIYmommy.com. 10 years ago this week, we moved into our DIY house. We built this house from scratch. I cannot believe it's been a decade. And we installed some kitchen cabinets from IKEA. So today I'm going to share a review of my kitchen 10 years later, the pros, the cons. So if you're curious to see how it's held up over the last decade, or maybe you want to install one yourself, I think you're going to love today's video. Let's get started. When we built our DIY house, especially near the end, we were completely out of money. Our budget was shot. So I certainly had to pick budget-friendly finishes to finish our place. And that's the main reason why I chose IKEA kitchen cabinetry, because it was within my budget. So I paid 10 years ago less than $10,000 Canadian for not only these cabinets, but the cabinets in our ensuite bathroom and the kids' bathroom upstairs, as well as the laundry room. Pretty sure nowadays, especially over the past 3 years, things have gone up dramatically. It would be quite a bit more expensive. However, IKEA kitchens are still a lot more affordable than semi-custom kitchen cabinetry, or certainly fully custom kitchen cabinets. The next reason why I chose IKEA was because I needed to make sure that I used all of the space in our kitchen really well. We have 3 children, we're a busy family, we both have our own businesses, we're going in and out all the time. The footprint of my kitchen is kind of a standard size, about 10 by 10 feet, so it's not massive. So I wanted to make sure that we had lots of drawers and pullouts, etc. And I know that IKEA delivers on that. So I love how they have so many great organization systems for inside. So if you have a smaller footprint kitchen, you want to make sure you have lots of organizational ideas and pullouts and drawers, IKEA is certainly the way to go for that. I also decided to choose IKEA because I love the style, and I'm still quite happy with the style 10 years later. I did a little bit of a risky design choice back then in 2013, where I did the black lower cabinets and the white upper cabinets, but I did choose more of a traditional shaker style design. So I feel like the whole look is still relatively timeless. It's kind of a traditional transitional look. I still like the black and white. I don't think you can go wrong with black and white, especially since it kind of matches our French country farmhouse aesthetic. We live on an acreage in the country. Our house is very traditional on the exterior, so I feel like this still works well. So first, let's talk about the durability of these cabinets over the last 10 years. I am extremely happy with how these have lasted over the last decade. Everything works perfectly well. There's no drawers falling off. There's no drawer pulls falling off. Everything is functioning just as it was when we first installed the kitchen years ago. There are a few little nicks and scratches in the lower cabinet, so that's the darker cabinetry, that is the solid wood. There's a few dings and things. I probably could use a stain pen or something to touch those up. Also, our toe kicks look so bad, and that's actually my fault because we installed custom toe kicks because our countertops are a bit higher than standard. So back then we were so busy, I was pregnant, so I just painted the toe kicks without priming them first. So there's some chipping and things on the bottom. It's on my to-do list to retouch those, but it's so low on the to-do list, I just have not done that yet. There's also a slight bit of staining or something on some of the white cabinets near the stove. I don't know if it's like a grease stain that set in that I didn't clean properly, but everything else looks great. The white actually looks a lot better than the black, the dark wood. If I was to get another IKEA kitchen for my place, I probably would just go all white. I know that's boring, but I probably would just go all white. Number one, because the white has lasted better than the dark wood, less nicks and scratches, really no nicks or scratches on the white, plus the white is easier to keep clean. The black, the dark brown is a nightmare to keep clean. Whenever I have baking that I'm doing, you can see all the flour, you can see all the dust. When I wipe it, it still doesn't look clean. If I'm taking photos of the kitchen, I always have to edit dust that I think I cleaned, but it's not. Whereas the white is just easier to clean. So definitely something to think about if you're installing your own kitchen. I know lots of people think white is hard to clean. In my experience, having both black and white cabinetry, the white is a million times easier for me to keep clean and keep looking clean. In terms of style, like I mentioned before, I was really happy that I chose this more traditional cabinet front. They actually don't have these cabinet fronts at IKEA anymore, but they do have something very similar. Very similar look, shaker style with the glass tops if you want them, but they're a slightly more off-white. They do have some newer styles like the Axtad doors. I really like those. Just clean, simple shaker style. So if you do choose an IKEA kitchen, just go for the shaker style doors with the square trim. That's pretty much going to be timeless, especially if you have more of a traditional or a transitional, which is, modern mixed with traditional style home. I still think my kitchen looks good. I still think it looks contemporary after 10 years. I'm happy that I kind of did a little bit of an on-edge thing with the black and white. And no matter how I style the rest of my kitchen, whether I do more of a boho chic breakfast nook, a traditional nook, a French country nook, I feel like my kitchen sort of complements that. Over the years, I have made a few modifications to my kitchen. So a few years after install, we were able to put some solid panel marble backsplash because my husband worked for the company that installed it. So we were able to get a great deal on it. I love the timeless look of that. And I feel like it really makes my cabinets look a little bit more high end. I also originally installed IKEA's butcher block counters, and I kind of gave them a whitewash look, and then I sealed them with a marine grade sealant. That lasted for about 5 years. Then I sanded that all down. I kind of wanted to play with a darker countertop look, so I restained in this sort of gray brown color that you see here, and I resealed, and the countertops are great. Couple little nicks and things with kids using knives right on the countertop, but otherwise they look good. I got to admit though, I am itching to bring some more lightness into this space, so I would love to replace these with a solid counter that looks like marble. I would love that. So I don't know if that's going to happen for me this year or two, or I'll have to wait. These countertops function perfectly fine. So it's kind of just my designer itch that wants to do that. Also, the hardware that I chose, which is the polished silver color, the polished chrome, I did light fixtures in that. I did the pulls, the knobs. That all still looks really good. That's not IKEA. I bought that. I honestly can't remember, but they're just standard looking polished chrome. I still like them. I still feel like they're timeless, but also kind of itching to change those out to a matte gold, but again, not necessary. So we'll see. Let me know what you think of those ideas in the comments below, or if I should just leave my kitchen as is and just not touch it for the next 10 years. So as you can see, the cabinetry looks good. There's a couple little minor dings and scratches. Same with the countertops, they look relatively good. If you look up really close, you can see the little dings as well on those. The little spots on the white cabinetry, you can see if you're up close, but you can't see from far away. But overall, I am so happy with how this looks over a decade later. We've done so many things in this kitchen. I cook definitely 2 times a day, most likely 3 times a day for our family of 5. We're not ultra careful. We don't have tons of rules for the kids to be careful with the finishes in the kitchen. So it's withheld 10 years of kids' fingers. So many good baking memories in here over Christmas time, the holidays, all year long. So we definitely put this kitchen to use. The white sink, let's talk about that. So IKEA does have a newer version of this particular sink. This is the old version, and I have been happy with how this has looked over the years. I do use a product called Barkeeper's Friend. I've mentioned it here before, and that also cleans out most of the rust stains and the gray kind of scratch marks, but I love this sink. I've bathed babies in this sink. We've washed hundreds, thousands of dishes in this sink, and I definitely love how it looks. One thing that I don't like about my IKEA kitchen cabinets is, well, I mentioned it before, I don't love the dark color for cleaning. And then secondly, they completely changed their system to the new section system, probably about 7 years ago, 6 years ago. So now I can't get the exact inserts that I would want for my cabinetry if I did want to swap them out. But luckily, I did a pretty good job of planning my kitchen initially, so I have the pullouts and things that I need. I don't think I'll have to change them. I was thinking of adding on to my dining room and adding kind of a coffee bar with the IKEA kitchen cabinets there. Kind of annoyed that I can't get the exact same cabinets anymore. If I do get the same shape, they're going to be a darker white, an off-white, so I'm not too happy with that. So ultimately, am I happy with my IKEA kitchen? 10 whole years later, Yes, I am so happy with the kitchen. You know that I'm an IKEA fan anyway, just for the prices and the small space love that IKEA has, but their kitchens especially have been one of my favorites. We did install another IKEA kitchen in our cabin last year. I have friends and family that have done them as well and have been happy with them, especially for busy families and just getting that organization in smaller spaces just right. Yes, I would get one again if I ever had to completely redo this kitchen, which I don't foresee happening anytime in the near future. There are minor nicks, scratches, things that I don't like. The fact that they changed the whole system annoys me, but the positives far outweigh those negatives. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know what you think of our kitchen down in those comments below. I would love to know. I talk more in depth on this kitchen on my blog, and I will leave a link to that down in the description box below as well. If you're curious to see some more of my IKEA loves, hacks, DIYs, I'm gonna leave a video for you to watch next right up here.